man. I'll wait till a few people come in the room. Hope everyone's in. Let me look presentable here. Yeah. It's a lot of people talking about this. A lot of people going live. And thought I'd come on here and bless YouTube with my presence. Wait for some folks to get inside. Oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Okay, got 1 like so far. All right. Waiting for some more folks to come into the room. And who was in here with me? Please make yourself known. I would love to meet you so I can thank you for coming on here to greet me. Alright. Sitting here reading the Creative Handbook. Hey guys, if you're ever in LA and are looking for resources to make a film or something like that, this here's the book you need to have. The Creative Handbook gives you all kind of resources, who to go to, production, people, producers, writers, directors, equipment. Tells you what equipment vendors to go to, where they're located. And just so you know, the Creative Handbook is not sponsoring this. They didn't tell me to do this. Just something I decided to take out on my own. But anyway, I'm still waiting for some folks to show up. You know, waiting for some people to step into the room. I'll wait a little bit longer. Don't worry. I'll wait a little bit longer. And then I'll just start talking. And I know folks will come in along the way while I'm talking. Just come and join the chat. So I'll wait a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. Alright. What's going on, She's Been Remix? How you doing? Alright. I'm so glad you decided to show up. Thank you. So, yeah, you know what? I'll start talking you here. So, as you can see by the title, and I'm sure I'm a little bit late talking about that. That's fine though. So by the title, this has been really on my mind for a long time, you know, and yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, this has been on my mind for a long time about this young man known as Tekashi 6ix9ine. So he's in court right now, and a lot of people have been talking about this, that he's on the stand, that he's basically, as they say, snitching, which is how he got the nickname 6ix9ine. Anyway, it's all eyes on him because he's telling on his former compatriots and acquaintances from Treyway. And he's basically talking about the things that they did, even implicating himself. And he's pointed out people, he's pointed out main people who were with him in different things that they did. And a lot of folks, including rappers, have condemned him because he's telling it. And the thing is that because of his involvement in these crimes, I'm not going to say alleged because a lot of the stuff has been been seen on video. They have the evidence on camera. Anyway, a lot of the stuff that he's been implicated in, he was actually facing over 40 years in prison himself. But in exchange for his freedom, he decided to cooperate with federal agents. And from what it seems, he's given them a lot of information, a lot of evidence that they could use against his former Treyway, as well as members of the 9 Trey Bloods, which is an NYC-based blood set. He's given them different incidents and events that they are taking part in. He's pretty much spilled the beans. He's saying, and bottom line is, what's going on with him is that I'm gonna say this much for him is any hopes for a musical career. From the way it looks to me, I'm not gonna say it's etched in stone, but from the way it looks, any hopes he had for a musical career, it would appear to be dashed. It seems like it would be over for him because of what he's done. Bottom line, it seems that he's not gonna probably even be safe. But you know what? I'm not gonna even speak that on him, because my thing is this: coming from a spiritual perspective as well as a Christian perspective, anything is possible through Christ. Anything is possible with Him. And my thing to Tekashi is that he needs to get somewhere and sit down and let someone minister the gospel to him. That's how I feel about that situation. That's where I'm coming from. But a lot of people are really upset with him right now. He's even implicated some known rappers such as Jim Jones and Cardi B of blood affiliations, and it's right now it's just not looking good for him. He's implicated main 9 Trey as well as Treyway members. He has put out there have been Shoddy, his former manager, and Harv, which is said to be a bodyguard. He's also even made mention of Trippie Redd and a few other folks, because they've the thing is that how he became involved with these folks, a lot of us already know that because he was the money man. They used him because of his financial status, as he could potentially help them get to wherever it is they were trying to go. And he in turn wanted to belong to something. He wanted to belong to a clique. He wanted to be a part of something. And unfortunately, it turned into what it is today. It turned into what it became. He wound up pretty much risking his freedom and quite possibly his life because of many of the things he's been on. The stuff that he's been involved in includes attempted hits on Chief Keef. There was an attempted hit on Trippie Redd, as the aforementioned rapper. And as far as Trippie Redd, him and Trippie Redd used to be on the same label. Apparently there was some jealousy there, and they wound up separating, taking shots at each other. And it's the really sad thing about it is that this is a case of art imitating life. Instead of folks following their dreams and enjoying their careers, enjoying what it is they want to do. Hey Kendrick, how you doing? Welcome. And enjoying what it is they want to do. They want to live such an image. They want to keep it so real in the streets. They want to have such of a street cred and have such clout that they go through these lengths to do what they're doing. Yeah, Kendrick, I'm talking about the trial and the situation that Tekashi 6ix9ine has found himself in. He's was looking at a lengthy sentence in court because of his involvement in some real crimes. The feds even they put a RICO charge on him because some of the crimes that he's been involved in have been that serious. He's a ripper. Yeah, he's a rapper, and he wanted to keep it real, too real. He wanted to keep it real too much. He didn't come from that life. He was not about that life, but he got associated with some guys who were about that life, who really did have that street cred and wanted that street life. They were part of that street life, and they also wanted the money. See, he was their cash cow. He basically he fronted them cash. He financed them, and I guess somehow along the way it got to the point where they weren't getting what they wanted, so they obviously kidnapped him. All sorts of things happened. Either way, it all fell apart. Yeah, I agree, Kendrick. Exactly. That people cannot handle that reality, and they want to be so part of it. They want to belong to something so much, and instead of just being who they are, instead of making their ends, instead of making their coins and having their concerts, they want to take it further. And unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't go that way. Hey, make them, how you doing? Welcome. Sometimes it doesn't go according to the way they want. And from what I understand, that Treyway has even said that they want to be the next death row. Well, they got exactly what death row was about. People going to jail. I can't remember of any Treyway members actually being killed, but they got jail sentences. So in a sense, you could say that it was like death row. So who else is this here? First row, he's still keeping it real. A lot of these rappers cut deals when it stops being music and real life kicks in. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly it. I mean, they want to keep it real so bad, and when it does become real, they can't handle it, a lot of them. And yeah, you're right. A lot of them do cut deals. And the truth be told, is a lot of these folks that's criticizing him right now, that's talking about him, ask this question: what would they have done? A lot of them would have done the same thing. I mean, what do you think you're made of that you feel that, oh, I'm not a snitch, I wouldn't say anything. If your back was against the wall and you was facing the type of time he was facing, and they came along and made you a deal, I guarantee a lot of you would have. See, folks want to front, they want to talk big when they're not dealing with the situation. They want to act like they're so tough, but when they really faced with something serious, they change their mind real quick. They think that they're just untouchable. And what was that make them? I'm not following this story, but I'm not surprised Tekashi turned out to be a snitch. Most of these fake rappers out here would do the same thing. Exactly. These guys, I mean, the thing about, and I just said it, Tekashi 6ix9ine was just a regular kid. He had a rap career. He was not about that life. He didn't come from that life. He got with some guys. He financed them. They, in turn, you can say, gave him some kind of protection, gave him something to belong to, and it just all fell apart from there. So this is basically when keeping it real gets too real. When, like I said, this is art literally imitating life. It's usually life imitating art, but this is art imitating life. No, wait a minute. No, it's not art imitating life. It's life imitating. Either way, it's a really bad situation. It got so bad to where that they had Tekashi, they had to keep him in a specific area with other snitches. They even had to walk him through secret tunnels and stuff like that. I mean, that's how bad it gets. Now I know that in the street, snitching is like the unpardonable sin. But truth be told, a lot of these guys that's out there, they're cutting deals too. They're snitching. They're doing the exact same thing that Tekashi did. They're doing all the above, but they want to play it off. They want to put it off like Like, oh, it's not me doing it. I don't do that. Like I said, how far are you willing to be down for the hood that you won't save yourself? And what really okay, and what really irritates me the most weekend is so stupid situations. Like I don't get why. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Yeah. I mean, hey, woman of the past, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah. And what really irritates me the most weekend is so stupid. Hold on. Situations like I just don't get. Well, yeah. And no, actually, I didn't see Michi X's live. I have to check that out. I don't know what she talked about, but yeah, a lot of these guys would do the same thing. I remember there was a campaign in the hood called Stop Snitching, and you know what? The thing that really irritates me about that is these folks want to talk about not snitching. Well, all you simply have to do is just stop doing the things that'll get you snitched on. See, of course, once again, Tekashi, he implicated himself, though, as well. But looking at the number of years he was facing in his sentence, that's why he cut the deal. He cut the deal. Um, People are upset about it. Truth be told, they would have done the same thing. And you know what? It doesn't. I'm not impressed. Everyone, say hello to each other, mingle with one another. Thank you for coming. I appreciate y'all coming to the channel, coming to the live. Get the likes up, y'all. Please like. Support the channel, y'all. PayPal.me/Thriller and Collins, as well as the Patreon. Come on in, mingle with each other, guys. Show each other some love. Hey, Monique Hill, how you doing, love? How you doing? Everybody, show each other some love. Support one another's channels. I don't mind. Um, if there are any trolls in here, welcome you also. You might get something out of this live. You might learn something. If you don't like the content, just simply do this. Just leave just the way you came in. I won't hold it against you. It's that simple. But I run a peaceful chat. I'm not about drama. I'm not about who did this to who. I mean, that's just me. But anyway, yeah. Back to the commentary. A lot of these same guys, right? They would do the same thing that Tekashi 6ix9ine did. They would have sang like a bird. So I mean, all these folks, and it's usually it's a lot of other rappers too talking about them. A lot of other rappers are saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, he done messed up and all that. He can't." Okay, well, whatever. No, the thing is though that when he supposedly exposed Jim Jones, I already knew that Jim Jones had claimed being a blood from some years ago. Matter of fact, Jim Jones actually performed at a show at the House of Blues out here in L.A., where he actually got up on the stage and yelled "Suwoo" and then walked off the stage to safety. See, but no one talks about that. I mean, oh yeah, no one talks about no one talks about these things here. And Cardi B, she claimed being a blood before as well. So as far as being exposed, I mean, I'm about at least Jim Jones and Cardi B for some time. There's a lot of industry. See, that's the thing. All these industry gang members, all these industry bloods and industry crips, they get on. They want to get on wax and rap about it. But a few of them have actually put in their work out there on the streets. See, A lot of these guys, they think this is a game. And if you ask some actual real gang members, some actual real Bloods and real Crips, they'll tell you this is not, this ain't nothing to be rapping about. This ain't nothing to be singing about. They actually have people who earn stripes out there in these streets and people who they've lost to these streets. Let them tell it. I mean, you got a few years ago, you got people like Soldier Boy and Chris Brown wanting to claim being Bloods, and some of them even paid to be in the set, and a lot of them had to be checked for it. They had to recently check Soldier Boy, saying you're not part of this. You never came from this. You paid to be in this, and I agree. You are not part of this thing. You paid to be a part of it. You didn't put the work in. Out here, you didn't lose people out here. You're not from this neighborhood, so they turned it into a trend, and they're not the only ones. You had Lil Wayne doing it. Everybody. I was looking at this video from 3 years ago. This is an OG Blood out here in LA, who goes by the name of T. Rogers. He said it best. He said it best. All you dudes out here in the industry that's claiming this set, that's claiming Blood, first of all, you need to sit down. I'm paraphrasing what he said, but he said you need to sit down. You paid to get in this. You didn't earn this. You weren't born into this. You paid to be a part of this. And I don't blame them for feeling the way they feel about it. What's going on, Ra? I don't blame them for feeling how they feel. Okay, exactly, Monique. Yeah, my condolences to your son's father, too. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. The volume was low. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, everyone, put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat. Make sure. Okay. Okay. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, this is nothing to play with. Yeah, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. Um, One thing we don't do in Chicago, see, we don't claim something that we're not. I grew up in a GD neighborhood, but I never claimed it. I have from some people who I know, some friends who are folks, and I even knew a few vice lords, but I never claimed it. These are folks that I actually went to school with, people that I went to school with. But something like that, playing around like that, would get you killed. You don't do that. You know, it's not. This is not something to be played with, and I mean, folks like Tekashi, they think this is glamorous. It looks glamorous to them. It looks fun to them. But I mean, I'm gonna put it to you this way, y'all. I've never been shot before, but I already know that I don't want to be, because I already know it's gonna hurt. I know that for a fact that it will hurt. Hey, Tarisha Ford, what is going on, Queen? Long time no see. I'm to see you. Welcome back. Oh, thank you so much for coming. Yeah, exactly. This is not a game. I mean, it is not a game at all. You got real life B's and real life C's out here, and they will tell you. See, this is what I think needs to be done. I remember back in the 70s, there was a program that came on called Scared Straight, where they actually took some high school kids, some rebellious, knuckle-headed, hard-headed kids, to an actual prison, and they actually sat them down. They were face to face, toe to toe with real inmates. Those inmates told them what's going to happen to them if they wound up in there with them. That's what they need to bring back. Because, see, these youngsters today, they think this is a game. What they need to do is, what's up, cool gent? Welcome. What they need today, these youngsters today need something that is going to literally scare the hell out of them. You know, that's what they understand. That's exactly what they understand. Exactly, Tarisha. Exactly. Cause see, even the streets have a code. Now they got a code. Now that wouldn't necessarily apply to us because we're civilians. But for those who come from that street life, they already know what it is. They already know exactly what it is. This is not nothing to play with. This is no game. And all these folks out there, they want to sit up there and they want to come out there and throw on a bandana, throw and think that's all it takes. These folks out here, I'm not glorifying gang life. Don't get me wrong. That's not the purpose of this stream. I'm not glorifying it. I'm here to talk about what Tekashi is going through and the price of doing what he did. He's a perfect example. Now, coming from where I'm a man of faith. I'll say a prayer for this for Tekashi and that he would definitely learn his lesson. This is something, if he hadn't learned his lesson from this right now, I don't know what to tell him. But what Tekashi needs to do, he needs to get somewhere and sit down and just read a book and just learn and just be quiet and just talk to God. That's what he needs to do. That's exactly what he needs to do. I mean, I understand that this young man is frightened for his life. Exactly, Monique. We done lost too many to the streets over banging. And you up here, and these guys up here claiming neighborhoods, first of all, that don't belong to them in the first place. That neighborhood that you claiming belongs to the city. Let me ask you this question. These bangers out here, what if the city decided to build a highway through your neighborhood? What you gonna tell them? That they can't do it? You gonna tell the city planners that they can't build a highway through your neighborhood? I mean, these folks sit up there and die for these streets that they don't even own, and then they get it tatted on them. Okay, so they build a highway through your city, I mean through your neighborhood, right? Okay, that means you're gonna have to get your tattoos changed to say something else. And I'm sure after a while that's gonna be pretty painful. Your skin's gonna be sensitive. You might be out of some money because I know those tattoos cost some coins. So bottom line is you're actually making a fool of yourself, sacrificing yourself, and dedicating yourself to something that is not going to benefit you in the long run. I don't know too many gang members or too many gangsters that have a 401k plan, that have a retirement plan from the gang. I mean, maybe some people out here do. I don't. I don't know. I don't know of anything like that. I don't know of a retirement home for old gang members. Exactly, cool. Yeah, everything's gonna get worse. And the truth be told, from what I understand, that real gangsters sitting on Capitol Hill. Real gangsters wear suits and ties and make decisions. Matter of fact, real gangsters don't even have to come out and show themselves. They got minions for that. Real gangsters have a pen and a pad and they writing stuff. That's what real gangsters do. A real gangster, with the stroke of his pen, will cause an entire neighborhood to be eradicated or whatever. That's what real gangsters do. Okay? Real gangsters make boss decisions. If you want to be a boss, make boss moves. That's what real gangsters do. Real gangsters stand alone. Real gangsters walk tall and stand tall and stand alone. That's what real gangsters do. They're not at home in their studio making records. That's just it. LMP, what's going on, my brother? How you doing? Y'all, check out Life Machine Power, LMP we call him. He's got some great content. I mean, I love this brother. Done many panels with him. He's based out of Toronto, Canada, and he lets you know, he gives it to you straight. So yeah, check him out, y'all. Go hit him up. Subscribe to him. But yeah, that is the that's just the gist of it. And I don't know too many. Yeah, like I said, I don't know too many gang members that offer a 401k plan or an insurance policy once you join. So that's just how that rolls. That's just how that works. I mean, I remember something like this when I lived in Chicago. I saw this a long time ago. I remember I was sitting. I think it was a McDonald's I was sitting in, and I saw this guy come in. Right, he was in a wheelchair, and no, he was a gang member. He was in a wheelchair, and in the wheelchair, while he was in the chair, he actually hit me up from the wheelchair. When I say hit me up, he threw up a gang sign, and I had to think about it, dude. You're in a wheelchair, but you're still gang banging. I'm like, what is it gonna take? I mean, I just don't get it. But apparently, gang banging is what put him in that chair in the first place. But yet he still would rather live and die for the set. I mean, that's just how that works. Catch this. Tarisha Ford said, catch this. T. That boy was never a gangster. He wanted to be an industry gangster. Nothing's real about him. That's why he's a snitch. Exactly, Tarisha. Matter of fact, he was the one that was running around actually saying, ironically, test my gangster. Those were his words. Telling people to test his gangster. And that's what happened. He got tested. He failed the test. And now he's testifying against his former comrades. But that's how the street life works. See, I heard a sermon a long time ago. A message said that the devil forgot to tell you. This is how the devil works. He'll give you everything you want, bless you with everything you want, give you all the prestige, all the money that you want, do everything you want him to do. But one thing he won't tell you is that in the end, you're going to pay it all back. You're going to pay it all back. That's where the expression, there's hell to pay. You're going to pay it all back. You can either pay with your life or you can pay with your freedom. But either way, you're going to pay. That's just how it works. It's a dirty game, but that's how it works. And me, I was never about that life. I just be honest with you. I was never about that life. I know people that were, though. I know people, and one thing about me growing up is I learned from other people's experiences. I didn't have to be a part of it. I learned from other people. And those are people who I would consider friends. You know, I learned from other people's experiences, and I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to live that life. I love listening to these testimonies of people who done been through the life and shot. I love those testimonies because you know what? They got something to tell. They got a story to tell. They can tell you something. You know, one guy that I became that I gotten somewhat fond of was would be the late great Nipsey Hussle, or Neighborhood Nip. Nipsey, when you look at the work he did a lot of stuff in the community here in South Central Los Angeles, particularly in Crenshaw, where he's from and where his store was. Nipsey did a lot in the community, but the one thing that Nipsey did, he came up in the 60s neighborhood, and he actually said it out of his own mouth that he would die for it. He'll die claiming the neighborhood. And unfortunately, that's what happened to him. The neighborhood claimed him. And a lot of people loved him true enough, but that's not a good way to go out. You go out going for a neighborhood that don't necessarily got your best interests. I mean, is it all worth it? Every Memorial Day, we mourn soldiers who went and fought in actual wars and who went and fought for the country. I don't see nobody doing that for gang members who die for the neighborhood. Yeah, you may get a few guys that come out there, have their liquor, pour it out, the liquor to the dead homies. Rest in peace. Pour them out, which is really libations that they point out to them. But other than that, nothing really happens for them to honor their memory. And the sad thing about it, y'all, is that you got generations of people coming up gangbanging. It's like it's a badge of honor. It's a rite of passage for some people to grow up in that lifestyle. But back to folks like Tekashi, who's a Charlie come lately, who never gangbanged a day in his life, who's never jumped in or none of that. He all of a sudden wants to start rapping, and now he's a we call people like that, we call them studio gangsters. We call them studio gangsters because the only time they bang is in the studio. And the thing is that social media is really the new streets. You got people, and I know I've said this before, but it's all tying into what I'm talking about. You got people coming in. They were probably cowards in real life, so they go online into the virtual world and be as bad as they want to be. I mean, it's amazing what an avatar and a fake name would. It is so amazing. People who were cowards already, and we knew that they were cowards, all of a sudden, you're the biggest Billy Badass on the planet. Once you get on a fake screen name and an avatar. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And people like that, some folks actually feel. I can't say I really feel sorry for Tekashi. I don't wish death on him. I hope nothing happens to him. I hope he does get somewhere safe. But no, I don't really feel sorry for him. He should have known better. He should have known better. And now he's in a situation where he had no choice. He had to make a choice, either freedom or snitch out his former partners. It was going on for Love Rain. Welcome. Yeah, you got all these folks out here thinking this glamorous, thinking it's fun. Ask any of these OGs out here. A lot of these OGs out here that made it, they'll tell you it ain't fun. It ain't no game out here. One show that I liked to watch back in the day, well, it was only a few years ago, was called Gangland. Gangland is actually a good show. If anybody could find it, you could probably find some episodes on YouTube. I think you can even get a DVD box set. Check that series out. It's a very good show, very educational. It's a documentary series about gangs and gang members. And you have people interview like folks from the Bloods and Crips, Gangster Disciples, Vice Lords, the Serranios. You even had white Aryan skinheads on there being interviewed. The biker gangs like the Hells Angels, the Mongols. I mean, you have them from all groups, all walks of life. They're out there. They're all out there telling their stories, or how they survived, and people that they've lost. They've lost to this gang life. You have people out there doing that. Yeah, it's a good show. So yeah, I will say this though: if you ain't from it, don't claim it. I mean, shouldn't have to say that. There should be common sense. But one thing I come to realize, y'all, common sense is not so common. It's really not that common. And it really amazes me with the things that some people do, the things that some folks get themselves into. It is so amazing. I'm like, wow. But yes, common sense is really not that common. I remember Southland too, Kendrick. Yeah, I do. Yeah, common sense is not that common. And you got folks out here wanting to, I don't know. But to Tekashi, you have no choice now. You have no choice now but to just get somewhere. You probably have to live the rest of his life looking over his shoulder. I mean, at this point right now, yeah, he has no choice but to be a choir boy. Of course, as far as I'm concerned, he always was. I mean, you getting in squabbles and stuff. I remember when Tekashi was out here in L.A. That's another thing too. When you claim in that life, you can't really make no money because, like particularly here in L.A. and even in Houston, he wasn't even allowed to perform his shows because people wanted to run up on him. See, when you put your foot in your mouth, when you start talking, being reckless and stuff like that, talking noise and stuff, and people want to hurt you, they put your show. Oh, that happened to him in Houston. That some of the guys from Rap a Lot, they wouldn't let him perform his show. They say he had to check in and stuff. See, that's the term they have on the street. When you come to another city, you gotta check in. You gotta check in with the OGs, let them know that you're gonna be in town. And he didn't do that, and they figured that that was a violation. They wouldn't let him perform his show. See, how you gonna make money? If performing shows is all you can do, the only thing you can do to make money, how you gonna get paid? So that's something else to take into consideration. Yeah, Monique, I understand too. But I have no pity either. I mean, yeah, in LAX, yeah. And you know what, Monique? The interesting thing about that fight that he got into at LAX, right? I never would have guessed those were some Texas cats that did that. I thought it was some LA dudes because it was some LA cats that was actually looking for him when he was out here. They were looking for him. You know, in other words, you get home free, only to get all the way to the airport in the city and get into a fight with some cats that's not even from that city. Then you wound up going to the city that the guys you got into a fight with are from and can't perform your show. Wow. I mean, that's amazing to me. I mean, it's like ask yourself, was it really worth it? Was it really worth it? And now you're coming out of pocket again because the folks that you thought you was cool with, that you ran with, now they want to kill you. Now they want to violate you. They want to kidnap you. They want to do you in because you didn't do right by them. But the truth be told is they already knew that he wasn't about that life anyway. What they were doing, Treyway, they were just using him. I guess he didn't see that because he wanted to be down so bad he couldn't see that they were using him. They were using him to fund them, to fund whatever missions or whatever ventures they were trying to do. They got what they wanted. Well, no, I guess they didn't really get what they wanted because many of them are now going to jail. And he's actually he's testified against quite a few of them, pointed them out in court and everything. And all I can say to myself is that I would not want to be in his shoes. Like I said, I don't wish no harm on him. I really don't. But I hope he learned his lesson. Teresa said, now, can you rap about life that you never, how can you rap about life that you never lived and scared to die for it, just for clout? Yeah, exactly. I thank you. That's a good question. How can you? I mean, because that's what's see, that's what's profitable in music today. That's what's sales. That's what they want to hear. That's what this new music they want to hear about. That they want to hear about that gutter life. They want to hear about that thug life. They want to hear about what it's like, what it's like out there without actually living it. Basically, what these rappers are doing, many of them, they're living vicariously through the lives of people who actually did put in that work, actually did live that life. That's what they're doing. See, they're living, they're living a wish life through people who actually did that life, but they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to actually live the life themselves. If that makes sense. No, that's what they want to do. They want to rap about a life that they know nothing about and never have known nothing about. And yeah, that's how that goes. That's what it all boils down to. Yeah. Anyway, everyone, appreciate y'all for showing up. Teresa Ford, Cool Gent, Macom, Monique Hill, Kendrick Celestine, Life Machine Power. Thank you guys for showing up. Get those likes up, everyone. Get the likes up. Um, hit the bell icon, guys. Support the channel, paypal.me/the real Aaron Collins. Also, hit up the Patreon. Um, do all that. Appreciate it. But yeah, this is it. It's really sad. But like I said, I don't feel sorry for him. I don't have no pity for him. I don't wish no harm on him. I don't want them. I don't want the boy to be beat or hurt. I don't want him to lose his life. But at the same time, though, I don't feel sorry for him. You know, he doesn't get no passes. And now look at this. He may even have some felonies on his record. I mean, they did have they did put a RICO charge on him. Now, what if he didn't have his music, right? What if he wanted to apply for a job in the future? He might have a hard time doing that simply because of this. He might not actually even be able to work a regular job because of the pressure that's been on him, and people have seen his face. People know what he looks like. You might have people that want to come and do him. You might have people want to come and harm him. So for his own safety, he might have to stay out of public. He might not be able to work a regular job. He might not be able to live a regular life. I mean, he was acting so tough and bad, actually putting hits out on people. He actually put a hit out on a rapper named Chief Keef, and had his boy Shotty go perform the hit. Of course, Shotty botched that hit. He didn't do it. But see, stuff like that. You up here doing some real stuff. You up here getting involved in some real business with some real gangsters, something that you know nothing about, and now you're about to get that business yourself. I mean, but once again, I asked this question: was it worth it? Was it really worth it? It wasn't. And now I'm sure he's learning that lesson the hard way. He's somewhere sitting in a cell. I'm guessing the testimonials are probably over with, so it's up to them. I mean, if he gets out of this, if he really gets out of this, yeah, best thing I can say for him, he needs to make himself scarce. He really needs to go. So he may need to take those tattoos off his face. I mean, he got that big old 6ix9ine on his face. So I mean, anywhere he goes, he's gonna be instantly recognizable. The rainbow hair, all that. He's gonna be instantly recognizable. People are gonna be like, "Yo, you so and so," and you got some people who's probably trying to make a name for themselves, chasing clout themselves. That's gonna wanna do some harm to him, just on the strength of who he is and what he did. And once again, was it really worth it? I mean, what was it worth for you to sit there and claim something that you weren't a part of? Because you wanted to be down so bad with something. You wanted to be a part of the. You wanted to run with the boys. You wanted to be down with the hood. You wanted to be down with the homies. You wanted to be down with something that you never lived. Huh? Was it really worth it? And like I was saying before, I hope he can get some kind of closure out of this. I mean, it's gonna probably, I'm sure what he's dealing with, it's gonna last a little bit, and then eventually it'll die down. But still, it's gonna be people that's not gonna forget. People gonna still remember that, and whatever semblance of a career that he had, from my vantage point, it looks like that's over with. Think that's over with as far as him having a rap career. That's not. I don't think that's gonna happen for him. I'm not wishing I'm not saying that he can't, but just from the way it looks, it doesn't look like he's gonna have much of any kind of career because of what he did. And the streets can be very unforgivable, very unforgiving. I mean, because once you snitch, that's like it's like blasphemy. It's like really committing the unpardonable sin of the street. Once you do that, there's no way back from that. Because the streets, they don't forget. They don't forget, and they don't let it go. They don't let it go. There's a biker gang that even has this slogan called "God forgives, they don't." That's how the street is. That's how this gutter life is, and it's true. God does forgive, but the street life doesn't. The gang life doesn't. They don't. So for all these wannabe rappers out there, all I can say is the best thing for you to do is just rap. Don't try to live the street life. I mean, it's not worth it. I mean, you have nothing to gain from it. You have nothing to gain, and it's too many internet thugs out here anyway. I mean, I've never seen this many internet gangsters, all these YouTube tough guys, these keyboard gangsters out here. I mean, wow, it's amazing to me. It is so amazing. All these keyboard tough guys. You couldn't quite cut it on the street, so now you decide to get online and be as tough as you want to be as bad as you want to be. Yeah, okay. So let's see, what do we have? Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, so see what else can happen. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much what I was hitting on. You know, and for those out there who did have family that were lost to the streets, my condolences to you. I got family members that were lost to the streets. I have family members that could have been lost to the streets and they made it. But my condolences to those out there who did lose their family. Because one thing, the streets are unforgiving and they're undefeated. And this live needs to get out to anybody. I mean, y'all share this with as many people as you can. This really needs to get out. I mean, I'm trying to save lives here. At least I'm trying to help save lives. Get this out there. I mean, shoot, the street life is not where it's at. It's not. It's not where it's at all. And those out there, the OGs out there, that's really trying to turn over a new leaf. Listen to them. Yeah, listen to them. Listen to these OGs who try to steer you clear, try to steer you in the right direction. Cause see, these OGs, they know. Cause see, they've done it. They've seen it. They've seen death before. A lot of them, they've been locked up before. They've they were about that life at one time. I remember a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long ago. I would say maybe about what, 10 years ago. I think about maybe 10 years ago, maybe 11. Anyway, I had an opportunity to meet Tookie Williams' son. His son Trayvon Williams. For those of you who don't know who Tookie Williams is, and I'm sure many of you do know, but those who don't know who Tookie Williams is, Tookie Williams was one of the co-founders of the Crips out here in L.A. When Tookie once while he was locked up, he reformed himself and began writing children's books and stuff to try to steer kids away from gangs. He was trying to right the wrongs that he committed. He even had something called a peace protocol. When I met his son, I was living in Dallas, Texas at the time. He was promoting his dad's peace protocol, trying to carry on his father's work and trying to steer kids away from gangs, trying to steer them away from the street culture, that street life, trying to let them know that it's not where it's at. Now, I've had the opportunity to meet some of these OGs out here, and man, it's like when you meet these folks, when you look at them, it's like they're looking at them, their life tells the tale. Seeing them, it tells the story. And he's not the only one I met. I met OG Stutterbox out here. Bone, I met him. I mean, yeah, these guys, and I'm not saying that to brag about folks I met. I met Red Rum also. I'm not saying that to be bragging though, because I met these people. When I look at these folks, I look at them like, man, these dudes lived a life that could have taken them out. But they're here to tell the story. They're here to tell the tale. Others didn't make it. Others can't come and tell that story. So that's why the ones that's still here with us, they have to tell the story. They have to tell the tale. Now for all you industry gangsters out there, all I can say is take a look at what's happening with Tekashi right now. Because ask yourself this question, is that the route you want to go? Because see, I see right now, it's now trendy. It's a real trend now to be a gang member. It's real trendy to be a blood, real trendy to be a Crip. Like it's cool right now. I once heard Snoop Dogg say this. Snoop said it best. He said, if you ain't from California, if you ain't from the set, don't be claiming it. He said that about folks out there sea walking. Said that about folks sea walking. If if you ain't from the gang, don't be called sea walking. If you ain't crippin', don't be sea walking. But anyway, family, I just want to let y'all know that I love every last one of you. It's come to the hour now. I wanted to share that with you all. Um, Hopefully, Tekashi 6ix9ine himself can see this live. And let him know, man, that it's no love lost, no hatred towards you. But I hope you learned your lesson. Man, get somewhere, sit down, get a Bible in your hand, read a Bible, and learn about Jesus. But anyway, family, I love every last one of you. Get the likes up. Um, Support the channel, PayPal, Patreon. And guys, just share this with somebody. Each one teach one. Let somebody know what's up. I love you all.